Movember. Pins, Newell. Newell's going to be slow. That thing don't have any range. HMSI could be okay. FND could be okay. CRC. Your list's almost too long, though. MGI, I'd probably leave alone. You got too much support underneath. Morning, everybody. What's going on in the hood? Who's rolling? Morning. Yeah. All right. Let's deal with Badeo, peoples. ITT, mid-range, no volume, pass. The rest of it looks good. All right. So we got crack cocaine in the markets. We got gap up. We got move up on the SPY. We had all-time highs. That's good. This is what we want to see. When you get a real trending market, you want to see this thing kind of cooking up the 9 EMA. We have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 days above the 9 EMA, 3, 4 days above the gap. These are all positive things that, frankly, this is the action that you want to see. Yesterday the market was weak. See the tail on the candle? That indicates, right, a little bit of a rebound. You got a rebound into the close. It ate up basically. That rebound to close ate up half the losses of the day. Now we're back to it. The Trumpsters technical analyst said, hey man, it's time to turn the juice on. So the juice is back on. Whoever Trump's technical analyst is, he was looking at that 9 EMA. As soon as that thing tailed down, those tweets coming out, baby. Those tweets coming out. Hey guys, right now, okay, the market's just sitting at the 9 EMA. We're also in Movember, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn the juice on, get some China news. We're gonna have mustaches and Big Macs for everybody. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, people. So now we got this thing rolling. Let's talk about gappers. I didn't see any that I really liked on the upside. Hey, Mark, by the way, the one CRC you have, don't be too biased on it. It could fade, it could long. That one might be tricky for you because you may start to flip. So that's the one I would probably say, be a little bit careful on. Top play for today. Pins. Pins breaking down IPO lows. IPO lows is 23. You're breaking below that. I think that this one's going to be looking pretty nice. It's going to be looking pretty nice. So, hold on here. Whoa. I like this one. This is, I would say this one is my favorite. ANET is also very, very nice. You got this thing's been in a little bit of downtrend for a bit. Lower high. Now you're breaking under this big base. It looks very similar to WWE yesterday. Hey, JST, what's up? Johnny, how you doing? Good. So, as long as this thing stays under here, so that level's like 189, which it doesn't look like it's going to be breaking under. I think this one's a short. If you look at its weekly chart, you can see a nice level here that goes back to 2018, but you're also breaking under that 200 SMA on the weekly. For longer term traders, that's the way it goes. So I like this one. My one issue on this one is the dollar amount on the gap is huge. When we had BIIB, remember BIIB had a $80 gap, a handful of, it was just a week or two ago. See this? So it's 220, gap to 320. Man, it faded off, almost the whole darn day. And then now, it's back kind of normal. Sometimes these things are just they're almost too big, So just something to kind of keep in the back of your head. Now, ANET does have a much lower float, half the float. So, we may be able to shred a little bit here, 5-10 points somewhere. But otherwise, nah. We don't need We don't need any complications. All right. Car. I like this one. We've traded Car a couple times on earnings. It's got it's got decent liquidity to it. If it stays under 27 and you start to see this thing cruise by, I think anything under 26, you start to see the ORB on that. I think we're good to go. For a long QRVO, semiconductor space has been hot. Look at Soxel. First of all, in bull markets, so when you get like breakout markets, semiconductors are always the hottest plays, in terms of indexes. That's just how it is. This is the Soxel ETF 3X ETF for semis. Plus, it's just kind of cool, right? Say, look, I got a semi. Oh, shit. Once again, don't even know what I mean by that. But 201, see, you're right at that breakout spot. That's a big breakout. When you get the indexes breaking out like that, and then you get like a stock that's like a bigger company. This is a $10 billion company. This earnings is going to be really well. The other thing is, if you look here, this is the weekly chart, right? This is a breakout to all-time highs. All-time highs is an amazing thing. There's only a handful, even with the market at breakout, there's only a handful of stocks I'm seeing that are like truly at all-time highs. A lot of stocks, especially in the tech sector, have been decimated. They look more like Twilio, where they've been in a downtrend for the last bit. So this is like very, very nice. All-time high breakout. If it holds up here, you can look at the daily chart, right? Same type of deal. So you got a nice IPO breakout. That's, if you need a long, that's top of the list. All right. BGNE, I'm worried about the liquidity on this one. You got a big range break here. I mean, definitely like at least a 1-year range break. You got like kind of different levels of resistance, but I mean, you could draw a fucking trend. You can take stock and draw a million trend lines. It don't really mean nothing. For those of you guys that are in the trend line drawing business, you can take any stock, draw a whole shitload of trend lines on it, and it doesn't really mean anything, But the big level on this one is this one's 56, which it is crossing over. I don't know the liquidity on this. The other one is like, so this thing doesn't do any volume, but it's still like $100 billion company. I never even heard of this thing. Anybody ever heard of Belgene? Begene? I sure haven't. It seems like one of those like kind of underground biotech companies that are flooding your water with fluoride, right? Next, down here in the Bohemian Grove, I have heard from a secret witness that works with the Clintons, the Rothschilds, and the Chinese government, and they're putting fluoride in your water. Right now, we've got BGNE, and they're gapping up on some news because right now they've taken Uber X reptilian disease, put it with their special products, and they're mixing it around, killing babies, and now they got a gap, and they're going to go up $20 billion, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to stand for it. So that's what we do here on InfoWars. We're going to short this company because, number one, we don't trust China, and we don't trust BGNE. So this one's going to be a little bit tricky. We don't know if it's got any liquidity. We leave it alone. Alex Jones says, leave it alone. Whew, that one really kind of gets my throat going. Hunter, baby, what's up? What's the good? All right. Check this out. Man, if this thing hangs out under, I would say like, oh, damn it, it's a buyout? Fuck that. Beats estimates, revenue misses. Beats estimates, revenue misses. Anything under 28, we're good on this. Guys, BGNE is a buyout, it looks like, right now. Well, actually, it's not a buyout, it's an Amgen pact. investment. It can still move around, Damien. Man, it's so cold. I can't believe it. Alright, so okay, let's talk about day twos. Who's got a day two? Jack, what you got besides this Fitbit? Yeah, Fitbit's been popping because of this Google stuff. What else you guys got? Let me see. Timmy's got Excel. We'll talk about the day two plays in a second. Excel looks good. First of all, in general, if you get like a stock, so say the stock does like 2-3 million shares in volume. If you get a stock that gets close to 10 million shares in volume, very, very powerful. 10 million shares in volume for stock that normally doesn't do it is like a sweet spot. I run the scans like every weekend for stocks that like don't do very much volume and then had like a $10 million day. It's a good kind of sign. So I'm going to steal this from you too. I like it. Good, Timmy. What you guys watch it?
The foot just took off.
Yes, don't mess with that. No small caps on Friday. You know the rules. No small caps on Friday. 7:35. No small caps on Friday, but this one's it's already been bought now. Quarterback goes $2 billion for the Fitbits, huh? Nice. For the CP is tough, man. I don't know really what to do with this one. It could break down these lows right here. That seems to be the play on it. Hey, JC, what's up, baby? Good, good, good. All right, let's talk about the day twos. TDLC. That looks all right, Timmy. 5 million shares. You got flat top breakout right here. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So this thing's going back to 2018. That's pretty powerful. 63 million share float. You see here. See how like you want to see this. So when you like look at say you're looking at a trade, you want to see how it reacts to patterns, right? So we all have different patterns we trade. You may have flag patterns, ORB patterns, VWAP patterns, 20 EMA patterns, right? There's just different patterns. When you look at a stock, like you want to really look at it and see, how does it react? How does it react to the patterns that you trade? So we trade ORBs. This one went. We trade VWAPs. It had a nice pull. It did have like a flag pattern that failed. But in general, like it's moving around okay. So you could definitely add a stock like that to your watch list. STX, let me take a look. So I saw this move on STX, but it's kind of like it's coming down into the support zone. I don't know how to really play this one. When I see like something that's got news out, I need to have it really like pushing into clean levels, breaking below or above. You're breaking below or above. But like if it comes down, like say you get a gap down and say you get a gap down, that's going to be a little bit tricky because like frankly, you cannot do what? You can't really, you don't know if it's a long or a short. You know what I mean? Guys, that's the watch list and the tickers too. You can just download that right into your TC2000 if you want. Alright, so this one's going to be a little tricky. Let's talk about day twos. WWE. So you got, man, this is nice. So you got WWE, big push down yesterday. That's a day two. We're watching for a break of those lows yesterday. Now you got W, man. This thing had sick range. It did farted around at the open, then it popped into 20 EMA, and then you got like a $10 push at the bottom. Love this for a day 2. Watch the liquidity of this. Oh, shit. Big titty Mike. So ZM I got on my list too. Alright. Yes. Okay, let's go. So you got Etsy. Looking good for day 2. You've got Twilio. Looking good for day 2. Especially like if these things start to curl down and take out the lows from the previous day. I think that's where you're going to have yourself. That's where you're going to have yourself a lot of fun. Does that make sense? Good. That's how you want to do day 2s. So day 2, say you got like a stock that got decimated. We crushed this thing yesterday. I hope you guys did. Man, the range on this was sick. 100 to 93. I know a lot of you guys were using Thinker Crap, and so some of you guys couldn't get in to your trades yesterday. So what I mean by day 2, good question, Jack. So yesterday, Twilio, and I only do these on the plays that number 1 I played and number 2 I made money on. Because then I can do a day 2. So we had this nice shred, yesterday on Twilio, right? And you could see like you had the VWAP play. You had really nice movement. So now, okay, stock had earnings out yesterday. What do you do for a secondary play is what I mean, Mr. Jack. So you've got this base out over here, right? So you got a lid here at like 97, a lid here at 97. Now this thing is like, if it starts to curl down, say you bust down here, you start the ORB, and you break below yesterday's low, then you've got a continuation, right? And that's going to trigger like a second day push or a second day play. Does that make sense? Good, 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 good. Sick. Excel. We got that for day 2. I love this Light. So Light is a 76 million share float. It's a $4 billion company. It runs with Apple, right? Apple had its earnings out. This company had its earnings out. You had a nice push on it into the close. If you look at its sweet spot, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of multiple taps of resistance. And you had a big push on volume. So it did about 4 times its normal volume. If a stock has its earnings out and it doesn't do at least 2 times its normal volume, it's usually not going to have any follow through. You did like kind of 3 or 4 in terms of its relative volume. On your T6000, you can add in volume buzz. So if you look over here, volume buzz, it will essentially tell you like how much expansion there is in volume, right? So it's just an easy way to do a quick look and figure out like, is this thing have expanding volume or not? Because it's very, very important. So Light's already opening up strong. I think this one, so what do you guys do, right? What do we do if something opens up strong? We got a stock on our watch list from the previous day. It had its earnings out. So what would you do on a day 2? This would be a day 2 kind of move. Well, because it's opening up strong, you're looking for 2 patterns. You're either looking for an ORB pattern or you're looking for the pop and then the first pullback to the 9 or 20 EMA. So it's either ORB or quick pullback, right? Be very mathematical when you're trading. If you have a stock on your list, you map it out. What are the patterns I can do and then when? And that's how you trade the open. OLED. This one was beautiful yesterday. You got really kind of a nice base that it stood at all day. If it kind of gets over this level and you start to build a pattern over it, then you're going to have a day 2 on that. ZM's looking pretty good. PDD. Very, very nice. Tesla looking pretty good. This is also, I think this one might need one more day of bounce, but if you look at its 30-minute chart, you've kind of put in a little bit of a bottom at 310. Now we need to see how it builds. Good, 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 good. Mike, you're using the daily volume. Essentially, like what's the volume on the day? So Tesla's starting to build out at 310. And if you use volume buzz, it'll take into account like what's happening in terms of the time of the day. That's the one good reason to use it. This thing is starting to peak up here. When you guys like are looking at a bounce play, for example, like a Tesla or even a PDD, these are both like potential bounce plays. What you want to do is like go into like a 15-minute or 30-minute chart, see like where the other angles are. You know, sometimes like when you're intraday trading, you get so zoomed into like 1-minute charts, 2-minute charts, you know, that kind of fun stuff, that you may forget, you know, like what's happening in the bigger picture. Like what are the real levels that I need to keep an eye on? Like where's the real supports? That's going to help you clean up what's going on. But this is a fave. This thing is hot, by the way. PDD, that's top of the watch list. Then we got Crowd over here, Crowdzilla. It's still doing a W pattern. See how like you got when they look like a W, like literally a W? That's a bottoming pattern right there. If this thing gets over that 5250, that's when it's going to go. Otherwise, I'm going to leave that thing alone, and we're going to be ready to go. Damien, take it easy today. 100, 200 shares max. Mark Sumich. Dude, good trading this week. This is some of the most solid stuff you've done. Take it easy today. Colin, take it easy today. It's been a hot week. Guys, it's been a red hot week. I mean, every day in the chat room, we've been shredding it like in the first 30 minutes. Do not give up. Do not give up the gains. I mean, we really took it. The Cree was hot yesterday. That was probably one of the fastest plays we've taken. It took literally I covered it all in 2 minutes. I had 1,000 shares short, 43.70. In the same 2-minute candle, I was covered up at 40.60. It's been a red hot market. I mean, we haven't really even needed to trade longer than 30 minutes. In this market, guys, if you're trading past the first hour, you're not doing it right. You should be able to make all the money you need to do in the first hour. If you got to trade the rest of the day, it means your opening range patterns aren't good. Victor, this thing's a buyout. So Google's already buying it out for $7.35. There's only so much you can do. Good. All right, you guys are awesome. What else we need to do? Yeah, Vic, I think we got a better play. So tops, let's just repeat so you guys don't miss anything. QRVL, pins on the short under IPO lows. ANET, as long as it stays under 190, we got CAR. Now CAR's starting to inch its way back. I need this thing to curl back down towards 26. I know. Cool, man. This thing's starting to creep up, so maybe we leave that one alone. BGNE still hanging. HMSI looks good. And then we got all these bad boys over here from yesterday. I think we're gonna be good. TJ Mueller, what's up, baby? Yeah, green to red is probably Twilio's gonna be in play today. This is a top. All right, let's have some fun, guys. Hey, so Vic, don't worry about, don't ever worry about the price of stocks because, when you have price of stocks, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's about range. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's always about range. Because if you think about it, it's like if a $7 stock moves 10% or a $100 stock moves 10%, does it really matter? No, it's the same thing. Actually, it's frankly a lot cheaper to just play a little bit more expensive stock anyways. All right, let's do this, guys. You know what we got to do? That's the do. It's Friday. It's showtime. It's go time. Be good, people. Don't screw up on Fridays.